Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Rushdina, metric number 300704. Today, I will discuss our project on Instagram's impact on mental health. With the rapid growth of social media, Instagram has become a significant part of daily life for many individuals. The purpose of this project is to investigate the relationship between mental health, psychological variables, and Instagram usage. Our goal is to understand how different Instagram usage patterns and associated psychological concepts affect the mental health of students. This study explores how Instagram use affect mental health. We will look at active and passive Instagram use and their impact on mental health. We will also explore how fear of missing out, FOMO, and social comparison influence users' mental health. Additionally, we will examine how self-worth on Instagram affect overall well-being. By testing regression models, we aim to understand these relationships and the effect of social media on mental health. We will use box plots and descriptive statistics to analyze our data. These methods will help us summarize Instagram use and mental health patterns among students. Box plots will show data distribution and outliers. Descriptive statistics will provide detailed numerical insight. For Part A, we collect demographic information to understand participants' background. This includes specific age for each participants between 19 to 30 years old, gender to examine difference in Instagram use and mental health, current academic standing, and lastly, faculty or school at University Utara Malaysia for analysis across disciplines.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Riza Fasiha, binti Pharmacy, metric number 300661. So let's move on to part B, which is Instagram use. This section of survey is designed to assess participants' Instagram usage patterns and the psychological implication of their engagement with the platform. Our measures include active and passive use measure. This set of questions differentiate between active and passive use of Instagram. For active use, it involves direct interaction such as posting content, commenting, and messaging. And for passive use, includes activities like browsing, viewing posts, and scrolling through feeds without engaging. So we can see that here, active user bar chart. This bar chart actually illustrates the distribution of active Instagram users, providing a clear comparison of different levels of engagement. It highlights posting frequency, commenting, and direct messaging among the surveyed participants. We can see that here, for never, the frequency is 25, rarely 39, neutral 26, frequently 27, and very frequently 33. Next, we can see that this is the box plot for active user. The central box represents the interquartile range encompassing the middle 50% of the data, and then the lower boundary of the box is around 10 and the upper boundary is near 20, indicating that the middle 50% of scores lie within this range. The median score shown by the line inside the box is around 15, and then the X inside the box represents the mean, which is slightly above 15, indicating a slight skewness in the data. So the table next to the box plot is descriptive statistic table. Mean for active user is 6, quartile 1 is 12, median 14, quartile 3 18.5, max 25, interquartile 6.5, mean 15.133, mode 13, and for standard deviation 5.23077. And then next, passive user. This bar chart actually illustrates the distribution of passive Instagram users, providing a clear comparison of different levels of engagement such as scrolling frequency, viewing stories, and liking posts among the surveyed participant. Here we can see the frequency for Denver is 3, and then rarely 8, neutral 30, frequently 32, and very frequently is 77. Next, this is the box plot for passive user. The central box represents the interquartile range, encompassing the middle 50% of the data. The lower boundary of the box is around 18 and the upper boundary is near 24, indicating that the middle 50% of the passive user scores lie between these values. And then the median scores indicated by the line inside the box is around 21. X inside the box denotes the mean, which is approximately 22, suggesting a slight skewness towards higher score. And the next is the box plot, which is a descriptive statistic table for mean is 12, quartile 1 20, median 21, quartile 3 23, max 25, interquartile 3, mean 20.733, and then mode 21, standard deviation 3.25823. And then for Instagram contagious self-words, here is the bar chart. The frequency for never is 10, rarely 15, neutral 24, frequently 28, very frequently is 43. And then here is the box plot for Instagram contagious self-words. So we can see here the box plot actually illustrates the distribution of scores for Instagram contagious self-words. The central box represents the interquartile range, which contains the middle 50% of the data. The lower boundary of the box is around 12 and the upper boundary is near 18, indicating that the middle 50% of the Instagram contagious self-words scores lie between these values. The median score represented by the line inside the box is approximately 14, and the X inside the box denotes the mean, which is around 15, showing a slight skewness towards higher scores. The next diagram beside box plot for Instagram contagious self-words is descriptive statistic table, which is mean is 10, quartile 1 12, median 14, quartile 3 is 16.75, max 20, interquartile 4.75, mean 14.6333, mode 14, standard deviation 3.04544.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Wardina Safia with metric number 300705. We're moving on to the psychological section, which included the FOMO part and the social comparison part respectively. I will be discussing how UEM students feel about missing out on social activities because of Instagram. Let's start with this bar chart. It clearly shows the varying degrees of fear among students regarding missing out on social interactions. As you can see, some students feel a much stronger need to stay constantly updated and connected on Instagram compared to others. Next, the box plot illustrates the distribution of FOMO scores. The box represents the interquartile range, with the middle 50% of scores between 7 and 11. The median score is around 9 and the mean is around 10, indicating a slight skew towards higher scores. The whiskers extend from about 3 to 14, showing the range of most FOMO scores. There are no outliers, meaning all data points fall within this range. This box plot provides a clear overview of the spread and central tendency of FOMO scores among the students. Get along to the next part, the social comparison. Let's look at the bar chart. It breaks down how often students compare their lives, looks, and accomplishments to what they see on the Instagram. This can be helpful in understanding if this behavior is common and how it might be affecting students' self-esteem and mental health. It shows whether students rarely, sometimes or constantly make this comparison. Afterwards, we have the box plot illustrating the distribution of scores for the social comparison scale. The box represents the interquartile range with the middle 50% of scores between 30 and 40. The median score is about 33 and the mean is around 35, indicating a slight skew towards higher scores. The whiskers extend to the minimum and maximum values within 1.5 times the IQR from the lower and upper quartiles. The lower whisker reaches down to about 18 and the upper whisker goes up to around 45, showing the range of most scores. There are no outliers, meaning all data points fall within this range. This box plot provides a clear overview of the spread and central tendency of the social comparison scale scores among the students observed.
So let's move on to part D, which is depressive symptoms. This section examines the levels of depressive symptoms among UEM students and explores potential links to their Instagram use. So for the bar chart here, we can see that the frequency for rarely, which is less than 1 day, is 88, and then for some or a little of the time, which is 1 to 2 days, is 95, and occasionally, which is 3 to 4 days, 179, and most of the time 5 to 7 days is 238. So you can see that this is the box plot for depressive symptom. The central box represents the interquartile range, which includes the middle 50% of the data. The lower boundary of the box is around 30 and the upper boundary is near 50, indicating that the middle 50% of the depressive symptom scores lie between these values. The median score represented by the line inside the box appears to be around 40. The X inside the box signifies the mean, which is also around 40, showing that the median and the mean are approximately equal. For the descriptive tables, the mean is 16, quartile 1 is 33, median 40.5, quartile 3 is 47.25, max is 60, interquartile is 14.25, mean is 38.9, and then mode 41, and then standard deviation is 10.711367.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Haziq bin Idrus with metric number 300652. Next, the multiple regression model. This is the summary output for the multiple regression, which include the regression statistics, analysis of variance or ANOVA table, and coefficient table. As we can see, the R-squared value is 0.1932. When we look at it as a set, passive and active use, self-worth, FOMO, and social comparison accounts for 19.32% of the variance in the mental health. Then, the observations row tells us how many respondents data were collected, which is 30. Moving on to the ANOVA table. It tests whether or not our predictors or independent variables predicts the mental health of Instagram users significantly. In this study, we use alpha value of 0.05. The value of significant F or p-value for overall is 0.3622, which is bigger than our alpha value. Taken as a group, these predictors are not significant. Last but not least, for the coefficient table, we can clearly see that the p-values of x1, x2, x3, x4, and x5 are 0.2090, 0.6509, 0.6424, 0.3995, and 0.0318 respectively. By comparing these predictors p-value to the alpha value of 0.05, only social comparison scale with the p-value less than 0.05. This means that x5 is statistically significant, which also means we should reject the null hypothesis of x5. For x1, x2, x3, and x4, we fail to reject their null hypothesis. Then, we'll look at the hypothesis in this study. The first one would be active Instagram use negatively affects mental health. The null hypothesis is active Instagram use does not negatively affect mental health. The alternate hypothesis is active Instagram use negatively affects mental health. Second, passive Instagram use negatively affects mental health. The null hypothesis is the passive Instagram use does not negatively affect mental health. Alternate hypothesis would be passive Instagram use negatively affects mental health. The third one is fear of missing out or FOMO affects the Instagram usage on mental health. The null hypothesis is FOMO does not affect the relationship between Instagram usage and mental health. The alternate hypothesis would be FOMO affects the relationship between Instagram usage and mental health. The fourth one is Instagram contingent self-worth is negatively affects mental health. The null hypothesis, Instagram contingent self-worth does not negatively affect mental health. The alternate hypothesis, Instagram contingent self-worth negatively affects mental health. Last but not least, social comparison on Instagram is negatively affects mental health. The null hypothesis would be social comparison on Instagram does not negatively affects mental health, while the alternate hypothesis, social comparison on Instagram negatively affects mental health.
From table 1.1, we can see that the R-square value is approximately 0.1932. This means that our model accounts for 19.32% of dependent variables variance. From table 1.2, we are only interested in the significant F value, which is 0.3622 approximate. It is the p-values for the F test for the overall significant. From table 1.3, the p-values for x1 to x5 are 0.2090, 0.9509, 0.6424, 0.3995, and 0.0318. With a significant level of 0.05, we accept a 5% chance of mistakenly rejecting the null hypothesis. Only x5, which is social comparison, has the p-value less than 0.05, so it is meaningful. we should reject the null hypothesis for x5. We do not reject the null hypothesis for x1, x2, x3, and x4 because their p-values are not low enough.
Continuing, I will briefly cover how Instagram impacts mental health among University Utara Malaysia students. Our study found that social comparison on Instagram is strongly linked to negative mental health outcomes like increased anxiety and depression. This matches finding from a similar study by Xiao Haijiang and Annabelle Jayan. Our study did not find strong evidence that other Instagram usage patterns and psychological factors significantly impact mental health. These factors might play a role, but their effects are less pronounced compared to social comparison. So, for future research should include larger samples and study the impact over a longer period for a more comprehensive understanding. In summary, while Instagram connects people globally, it could also harm mental health through social comparison. Encouraging healthier usage habits can help mitigate these risks. That's all from us. Thank you.